Alright, we're back. So now I'm going to finish rebuilding these blocks. So we sanded all these surfaces down and flat, so that made the hole a bit tighter. So now we need to hone this back out to standard size. So it'll be taking metal from top to bottom, not side to side. So it'll tighten up a little bit, but not really a round hole. But that's the best you can do by doing this method. So what I do is I take two of these and I bolt them together back to back. It helps if they actually go together though. That was a little tight. The pins are not happy. Making the pins more happy with each other. Gotta get things to kind of line up a little bit with each other. This one over here is a tight one. A little bit too precision of a fit there. Alright, it is what it is. It does come in and out, it's just hard. Alright, so you take two of these, you bolt them back to back, like this. That way they got a nice flat surface you're working to. That's why I went ahead and sanded both of these two surfaces so they would be flat. And we take our bolts and we bolt them together. This duplicates being on the head. Assuming the head's flat. If this surface here is not flat, it's going to warp the rocker arm and lock the block up. So that is actually very common. So even though after I hone these and I can run my standard through it, which is a stock diameter rocker arm, you still might have issues because the head's not very flat. Okay, there's that pair. I'm going to do another pair here. You got to make sure you bolt them together correctly. This is another tight one. They don't line up very well. Same deal, whack on them a little bit. Don't hit them too much on the side, hit them right here in the middle. That's where they're thick. Bang them up a little bit. A lot of times that kind of centers things up so they kind of work better. This is our tight one over here. Still doesn't want to come out. There it goes there. Yeah, you get it just right, it'll come up. Yeah, it slid right together. You gotta get it just right. Don't force it. Okay, this one here, direction. Alright. 2 more. Make sure you run a washer under everything so it pulls more even. Alright. Tighten these up in a pattern you're going to use. You do an X pattern. So that's 2 different X patterns. First one front to back over here, and then this one. This one here went top to bottom over here, and then that one. Doesn't matter how you do it. It all works. Okay, now if you didn't mix up the blocks, they should still be pretty darn close here. Now if you mix these parts up, you'd have a big offset between, and it won't work. So that's why you don't mix these up. I've seen them be off by 30 thou when you put these things together. So they don't always line up with each other. Okay, so now get to do some honing. It'll be called over here. And I need my standard to work to. The light wouldn't hurt. So my standard is a big reamer. Probably the one that's marked panhead on it. Now this is an 1 1/16 reamer, and the hole on is 7/8. So we're not using a reamer, we're using a shank right here. Now this here, I've honed this so it's nice and smooth and straight. And this is 7/8 of an inch, pretty much on the money. So instead of going and buying a standard that's this size, I just have my own right here, because I don't use this for anything else. So this was cheaper than buying a standard too. Alright, so now all we do is hone these out until this will go through these holes. Now that one's already done. So that one he did not sand off enough material. These ones we did, see? Okay, so this one we need to go back and do some more work on. Yeah, it's still loose. So he finished up sanding these things, but he didn't take enough metal off. Alright, so I'm going to take this stack apart, and we get to redo this. What fun! So this hole must have been really, really big, or he didn't get sanded enough. Either way, it doesn't matter. It needs more work. Figures, these ones don't want to come out. Well, there it goes. Okay, I don't know which part needs to be sanded more, so we're going to sand everything more. The whole damn thing needs to be made tighter. So go over here and rework. We didn't do it the first time correctly, we're going to do it the second time. So we're going to be back over here sanding away. So we're going to use our 60 grit again. We'll finish with the 120 that's worn out. Okay. Okay, that should be a little bit off. I'm going to go to this one here again. Alright, that might be enough. So we'll get some more just to make sure. Alright, a little extra just to make sure. Alright, see, that's how much we took off, see? Get parts in the way. Now we take our fine paper. Go ahead and get it smoothed up a little bit. See the coarse marks in there. Alright, that looks pretty smooth now. And do the next one. Turn the paper up. So you got high spot on your paper, it puts a hole through it. The glue is balling up underneath here. See, that puts a hole in your paper. Going across. Alright. That looks pretty smooth. We'll give it just a little more just to make sure. Got a bunch of different angles to get rid of the finish on it, make it more smooth. Alright, looks pretty good. Alright. Tiring. So I gotta blow the grit off. Okay. Go back over here and bolt them together. go work out. It's supposed to be cool this week, end of the week. It ain't. It's hot. Weatherman don't know squat. As usual. See, that one goes in like that. The worst part's where I've been dealing with the dikes right there. So that's what's going to go into the brass part. So the better part's what sticks up. One side's easy. There you go. It's a high spot on that. Kind of burnish it in a little bit. It's a high spot or dirty or something. You feel it. Alright. Works better now. Now we can do all this again. We just did this, didn't we? Okay, let's go see if that was enough this time. Okay, same reamer. It doesn't go in now. Definitely gonna have to hone it now. In case you think I mixed it up. Doesn't go in this one either. Okay, so this is ready to go. We're not using this one. This goes back over here in the stand with the rest of them. Okay, now we got to find the one we're going to use. Let's get one of these over here. You have to pick which one we're going to use. I'm going to go with the one that fits. That doesn't fit, so we're not using that one. Yeah, I think that's the one right there. What do you think? Okay, so this has my fine stone in it. If I got to take a lot of material off, I use this one. It's got the coarse stone in it, but I rarely use the coarse ones. You never know how much you got to hone out, so we just use the fine and hone more. Okay. Alright, now this is where it tries to rip it out of your hands and cuts you wide open. So you got to be careful with this. There you go. It's definitely uneven. So it's going to try to get me. clearance now. Nice and slippery now. Alright. I didn't hurt myself yet. I'll do the next one. Tight. Probably when I went back to redo it, it's a lot smaller than the other ones are. It's way out around. I cut a lot off that one. It goes in. I think it's way out around. This is the worst one. Has the most wear in it probably. Alright. So I gotta go clean these all up. We'll take it apart and put a rocker on and see how they hold up. Alright, we'll be back.